You can hear that right here on ESPN 700. Bill Riley on the call. Big thanks to everyone who joined us today. We've got a jam-packed show for you tomorrow. It's the Bill and OC show, as always. Interviews available at ESPN700sports.com if you want to check in. Also, a new blog going up today, courtesy of yours truly. So, Dave Gore's got one up there also. Anyway, that's the Bill and OC show. ESPN 700.
Please welcome Suzanne Henry as she performs our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Suzanne. Now let's hear it for your Real Monarchs. Starting tonight, captain number 18, Lucas Baldi. In goal, number 1, Lalo Fernandez. Defender number 2, Boyd Okwano. Defender number 3, Fanny Kavita. Defender number 15, Jordan Morel. Defender number 26, Justin Glad. Midfielder number 5, Lennon Celestino. Midfielder number 8, Vitor Ovalle. Forward number 7, Etsy Tavares. Forward number 10, Ricardo Velasco. Forward number 50, Bulfo Saucedo. The head coach of your Real Monarchs is Freddy Juarez.
And kicking out of bounds on the far sideline as the fireworks went off in the north end zone, and we've got not only a little rain but now a little smoke drifting across the field here tonight at Rio Tinto. The fog has set in. RSL to throw in. I say RSL. The Monarchs to throw in on the far sideline. Old habits hard to break. I was just saying RSL in San Jose on Sunday. Ball kicked forward and out of bounds. Again, touched last by Portland on that far sideline. So the Monarchs will move forward here and throw in along that far sideline.
On that far sideline on the right back, you see Taylor Pay. He's a Salt Lake native. He was a two-time state champion with Brighton High School. He's on the ball there now. He also played for Inter FC out of Sandy.
Long ball up the near side. Justin Glad tracking. Justin Glad touching and kicking it into his bench down below. Glad, of course, saw some time with the parent club, Real Salt Lake, last year, throwing in down below.
He's the 7th overall pick for the Monarchs from the academy.
Ball chested down and then taken down in the center circle on the other side.
As to say, he's the 7th player to be signed from the academy program.
Clark goes down. There'll be a free kick coming here for Portland. Just underway on the debut of the Monarchs here in Salt Lake City, here on ESPN 700. Toma playing it back. Belbridge.
Both teams are coming with a 4-3-3 today. It would be fun to see them both test.
Forward and sent back the other way by Kavita. Knotted away and out of bounds, and a throw in on the far side for Portland. Timbers beat this Monarch side in the Northwest a few weeks back, 3-1. Monarchs hoping to exact a bit of revenge here tonight in front of the home crowd and folks that have braved the weather here tonight. A little bit of a late arriving crowd, too. Into the box it comes, ball centered and crossed in front. Glad breaks it up, and the ball cleared by Kavita, the Highland High product. Settled near midfield by Portland, and they'll reset. Toma on the near side, plays it forward into some space. Sawfew back to Toma. All the way and back now, Pelbridge. Big right foot, line drive forward, settled there. And plenty of time on the ball for Murrell. Portland with possession. Good slide in the midfield, knocked out of bounds by the Monarchs. Throw in on the far side for Timbers 2. Into the box and through the 18, Lalo Fernandez parries one away in front, and it's cleared out of the box. Dangerous situation. Portland keeping the pressure on here early on the Monarchs. Toma now. Settling, playing it just a bit too much, overcooked it a little bit. Over the end line it goes, and Fernandez will have a goal kick.
You know, both teams will come with this 4-3-3, and in the center of the field, there's those 3 center midfielders, and both teams will want to be sure to take care of the ball early in this game. There's been a few turnovers. Want to prevent that as much as possible.
Lalo Fernandez back in play, chips it forward. Just shy of midfield. Monarchs keep possession. 4th minute, 0-0 here at Rio Tinto Stadium. We don't have conflicts this year with either Real Salt Lake or any other programming. You'll hear a lot of Monarchs action here, so if you can't make it out to the stadium, you can certainly hear those matches right here on ESPN 700.
First combination play with Tavares and Oconio right on this right side of the field. Referee doesn't agree with the foul there.
Portland takes it back. Across midfield it comes. Timbers 2, pause, wait, play it back, halfway line. Big switch to the near side as they look for Sawfew, and cleared out by the Monarchs. Tavares plays it back to Justin Glad. Valle, midfield. Now back out wide again. And the Monarchs with some momentum moving forward across the halfway line it comes. Into some space, broken up. Lucas Baldin there, taken down on a hard foul up front with Salcedo. No card being shown yet by Tyler Plogger, but
looked like
a warning being issued right now to the Timbers.
Looked like number 77 Rundell on the tackle.
Hard challenge. He got part of the ball, but he got a whole lot more of Salcedo, who's still down right now. Trainers haven't come out to check on him just yet. Give Sebastian a chance to work himself back up, and he does.
You like the way out of pressure from Justin Glad. He was able to find his holding midfielder, and they were able to swing the ball to the other side to break pressure. It's great to see early in this match.
You know, Sean, I only got to see Justin play in live match action a couple of times last year in some friendlies and some reserve matches, but he has very much a calmness on the ball in back. You see that very much last year when he was being put under pressure. Very much calm on that ball. Very, very similar to what a guy like Nat Borchers had when he was here. Nat, though I think Justin may be slightly better an athlete than Nat was, they are very, very similar in their poise on the ball. And again, you're talking about a kid that's just 18 years old.
Right, and we saw that with that first touch there, and it will be important for him to bring that today, because if you watch the Portland Timbers game on the 29th, Timbers brought a lot of pressure on the back line and won a lot of balls in high areas of the field in the attacking third.
Free kick, Monarchs, 40 yards out. Into the mixer it goes, back post, easily found that time by the keeper, Jake Leeson. Ball was well struck by Baldin, but he couldn't find any teammates on the other end. Portland with a breakout back the other way. 0-0 is where we stand. 7th minute here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Home debut for the Real Monarchs. And here come the Timbers on the attack, in the box. Big shot, and a goal! It's a goal for Timbers, too. Sawview beat Lalo Fernandez to the near post, and it's 1-0 Portland here in the early going.
You can see the athletic ability up in the front line for the Timbers. All three of their forwards are so fast. You saw him just take off into the space, and he just set himself up. Good preparation touch, and he's just able to bury it in that near post.
Well, I'll tell you what, he didn't have a whole lot of room to work with at that near post, but he struck it and struck it well, and he beat Fernandez. I almost think Lalo thought he was going to go someplace else. He caught a part of it, did Lalo, with his foot. It ricocheted off the post and in. And Portland with an early lead here in the 8th minute. They lead at 1-0. So the Monarchs on their heels just a bit here. Going to have to find an answer. A lot of time, though, and a lot of soccer to be played here this evening as we've got some 80-plus minutes to play. Through the center circle it comes. Velasco playing it out wide. Murrell getting forward. Left-footed ball driven in through the 18 and back through the other side out of bounds on the near sideline. Portland will have a throw-in coming. It's a good quick counter and a good thought that time. But Murrell overcooked it. Nobody was on the other end.
Both teams have very athletic outside backs, so it's going to be a track meet back and forth on both sides of the field.
Velasco got a touch to it, and it goes out of bounds again. Portland will throw in here on the near sideline. Okwanu trying to get on the end, trying to cross, couldn't get there. Well defended in the back that time. I think it was Toma that got a touch to it. It's going to be a corner kick now for the Monarchs. First corner tonight.
Good vision from Salcido. He had his back turned to goal, and he's able to combine with sorry on the pronunciation, Okwanu. I'll get
You'll
it correct.
get it. You'll get it. It's a long season. Baldin to take the corner kick here on the near sideline. Right-footed ball swung out. Touched, but not all the way on frame, then sent out by Portland. Reset now for the Monarchs. Minute number 9, 1-0 Portland. Velasco weaving in and out of traffic, keeps possession.
You see his quick feet there.
Very, very quick. Out wide it comes. Back now to Baldin. Right-footed ball in, sent right back out again by Portland.
Looking for Tavares here out on the wing, out wide on the right side.
Good effort getting forward there. That ball was sent right back out of bounds again.
Good slide tackle from Celestino to win the ball, prevent a counterattack.
Lennon Celestino. And now Portland back in play.
Just notice the shape of the back line for the Timbers and good possession out of them. You young players watching. Watch both teams how they build out of the back.
In back and gathered back in again. Kavita dancing on it, pressured now and plays it near side. Okwanu has it go forward and touched last by Toma. Monarchs to throw in, 11th minute, trailing 1-0.
Ball almost picked off by number 77, Rundell.
Forward looking for Salcedo, couldn't get it to him. Hit just a little too hard that time by Murrell. And out of bounds and throwing in, Portland Timbers. Gleason clears near midfield. The man who scored the goal, Sawview, couldn't control it. Taken right back again by Boyd. Center circle it comes. Ovale.
It's a good
out
switch.
wide. Good switch by the Monarchs. Chance to build some momentum here. Velasco in and met and driven back the other way by Clark. And a counter attempt here for Portland. Back across midfield and out of bounds. Last touched by the Monarchs.
Looked like on that collision, Clark took a knock. He's down on the ground now.
Well, have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news and live stats and check out the new social media hub at USLsoccer.com. Bill Riley, Sean Blymiller with you here tonight on a chilly and a much more March than April-like evening here, which only makes sense because our February felt like March, our March felt like April, so now we're going backwards. Our April now feels like March again. Ski resorts are loving it. Everybody getting dumped on up in the canyons above us here in Sandy. Portland throws in. Ball kicked last and touched out of bounds on that far sideline by Timbers 2.
I'll keep referring back to you youth players watching. Watch the shape of your Monarchs. This horseshoe shape, Glad finding the ball here and being able to switch sides, switch possession to open up the game and create space for his team.
Glad will play it all the way back to his keeper, Lalo Fernandez.
One thing Freddie Juarez talked about in On Frame this weekend this week on Monday, he talked a lot about breaking pressure by using the goalkeeper as someone in possession. You've seen that a couple times already. In the game on the 29th, they gave up a goal where they played a ball backwards, and there was a preparation touch that kind of put them in trouble. But Freddie Juarez really took ownership as the coach in that he wants to be able to build out of the back, to be able to keep possession and build that same brand as the first team, Real Salt Lake.
Portland doing a good job keeping the pressure on them, and the Monarchs having trouble clearing their own end. Finally, Glad just clears it up the near sideline and all the way back to the Portland keeper, Gleason. 14th minute, 1-0. Monarchs trailing Timbers 2. Near sideline, Toma. Pellbridge clears it out near midfield. Blair Gavin gets a touch. Not these guys, but a number of the RSL guys that might be watching here tonight. Got a good look at Blair Gavin. Blair's well-traveled around Major League Soccer, also around the USL and the NASL. And last year he played a little bit with the Silverbacks in Atlanta. Silverbacks just so happened to beat Real Salt Lake in U.S. Open Cup play last year on a hot, steamy Atlanta June night. That ball hops over the top of Blair Gavin, and it's cleared back across midfield by Justin Glad.
Looked like Velasco took an elbow to the head.
Saw a number of those on Sunday in San Jose with the parent club, Real Salt Lake. Notably, Luke Mulholland taking a nasty little elbow to the head that saw a big egg raised on his forehead. Velasco's okay. He's shaking it off. He's going to come out. Played a little college ball at Louisville and Cal San Bernardino. Played a year with FC Tucson and now here in Salt Lake City. One of the many RSL Academy products on this team.
And mentioned that he was the PDL player, youth player of the year, young player of the year, and then he also was the All-Western Conference and All-League selection team as well.
Pellbridge in back. Plays it ahead to Toma. Somehow the referee's assistant said that ball stayed in. And now he says it goes, well, now we got a little foul. So Toma will put it back in play here. Left-footed player along the left sideline.
He had an assist in the game in Portland off of a cross.
Tavares teaming up with Velasco. Taken back by Portland. Sofia, who's seemingly been everywhere on the pitch tonight so far for Portland, has a goal, and he's come back and defended well as well.
And that's not hard. That's not easy to do as a 4-3-3 system, to be able to get back and defend and get forward like he has.
Tell you who's done a good job of that with the parent club for Real Salt Lake this year is Olmes Garcia. His work rate has been terrific. Hasn't shown the results on the offensive end, but his work rate on both ends has been terrific. Long ball forward, sent back in. Pellbridge. Payne couldn't control, and out of bounds it goes right in front of Freddie Juarez.
That was a good double to force him to the sideline, to not allow him any space.
Baldine cleared up the near sideline. Tavares gets a touch. Going to say that it hit his arm. There was a lot of hugging and tugging right there on the sideline in front of the Portland bench, but they chose to go after an innocuous handball instead. Portland on the counterattack, coming back the other way. Great step. Ovale on the other side.
Good tackle, good timing on that.
And an equally good step there by Payne to keep it back on the Monarchs side of midfield. Big switch, and all by himself, Tavares. Unfortunately, that ball was overhit, and he's not going to be able to get there. It skips out of bounds on the wet turf here at Rio Tinto Stadium, and a throw in for Timbers too.
Salcido had the right idea. Tavares had all of the space in the world in front of him.
Touch last out of bounds by Portland. Boyd will throw in down below. Second round pick, 2015 Super Draft. Tavares keeping possession. Tavares playing it out wide. Velasco in space ahead. Tavares, and again, just a bit too much.
We saw Tavares on the ball here out wide, and one thing that the coaching staff has said about him is he's very good on the ball, especially 1v1 situations. He likes to go at players. Just unfortunate, the last two passes have been a little heavy for him to not be able to get on the end of it.
Goal kick here for Portland in the 18th minute. Gleason puts it back in play, drives it high and long. Celestino plays it out wide. Tavares takes a knock. He goes down, and a free kick here for the Monarchs. Ball played back. Kavita across to Glad. Up to the halfway line. Touch gets away.
Good recovery.
Celestino does a good job recovering. Otherwise, that could have been a good counter for Portland. Here comes Kavita, former Clemson Tiger, and he gives it away with a bad pass.
With a 4-3-3, you really need width. Someone to provide the width to create that space down the middle.
Near sideline, Soffu. Back to Toma. Tight space passing, Gavin. He'll play it back to Bellbridge. And now to the keeper, Gleason. Drives it high and long through the center of the park. Kavita there to send it back the other way with his melon. Now back to Glad. Justin with a touch forward. Finds Baldine. Back to Glad.
Good checking run from Baldine to get the ball just a moment ago. You see the composure with Glad winning the foul right at the midline stripe.
Whistle and a foul against Portland. Celestino to put it back in play for the Monarchs. Center circle. Back out wide. Plays it into some space ahead. Couple of touches. Boyd's got it. Cutting it back inside Ovale. Up ahead, Tavares. Into some space. And out of bounds over the end line it goes. They'll say touch last by the Monarchs. A goal kick coming here.
Okwonu and Tavares have been able to combine a couple times. Just that final pass has gotten away. Take some time to develop some camaraderie with your teammate and figure out the timing, and especially on different surfaces. When they were just in Portland, they were just in LA.
Well, you can become a fan of the USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Visit the USL on Facebook. Bill Riley, Sean Blymiller with you on a chilly April evening here to see the home debut of USL's Rio Monarchs. As they play the Portland Timbers 2. See more and more USL teams being affiliated with Major League Soccer teams as Major League Soccer continues to grow. Timbers 2 lead it here 1-0. Soffu with a goal early on in the 8th minute. Here's Baldine, and he plays it into space to nobody in particular. And the Timbers take it back again.
You saw Velasco on the far side, just defender on that side of the field, just cut off that angle really well.
High and long, Clark looking forward, trying to find his man Rundell, and couldn't do it. It kicked it out of bounds. Monarchs put it back in play. Negative ball back to Kavita. Now a switch out here near side. Justin Glad.
Look how active Ovale is right in the middle of the pitch, checking back to the ball in the little gaps. You see Sebastian, I believe Salcido on that other side coming back to the ball as well.
Ovale, another local kid, a Layton product, who was scheduled to go to Maryland, and he said, nah, I'd rather play pro soccer instead. So he chose not to play for the Terrapins, but staying in his hometown and playing professionally for the new Monarchs.
He's part of the U20 Chilean national team. His dad is very much involved with the local soccer market with La Roca Club out of Layton.
Glad with a big switch out wide. Not enough on it, though. Sent back the other way. Jordan Morrell checks it down.
You can see the Monarchs trying to test some of the width now, trying to open up the game a bit more.
Baldine looking forward, sent back the other way again by Clark. Both center backs for both teams are big. Pelbridge and Clark, two big dudes for Portland, and of course you've got Glad and Kavita for the Monarchs, who are two big athletic kids as well.
Clark is just 19 years old. He performed well against the Monarchs just a couple weeks ago. And they just came off the win against Sacramento, just like you said, Bill.
Here's Tavares with a touch and a defender on his back, leaves it for Glad. Justin back to Tavares. Out wide to Boyd. Right-footed ball into the box. Touch there by Velasco. Loose in front and smothered by the Timbers keeper, Gleason.
Unlucky bounce. The ball almost took a turn for Monarchs' benefit. Salcido took a touch and it almost fell. Sorry, Velasco took a touch, almost fell to Salcido.
Instead, Portland comes up with it. There's a trip in the midfield and a whistle and a foul going against Ovale. He just kind of stuck his foot in there and broke up the play going the other way. You call that a professional foul, and that's what it was. Toma at the halfway line. Touch back. Sawfew pressured here on the near sideline by Tavares. And the Monarchs win it back. Tavares, and then there's Sawfew. Good work rate for him tonight. Velasco takes it back for the Monarchs. Oh, he missed his man Salcedo. Baldine did. Baldine plays it out wide to Boyd. Boyd will take a look up, play it back, and there's a dummy ball through for Tavares. Oh, and down goes Baldine.
Center referee missed a foul there.
Baldine got his feet caught up, and clearly Tyler Plogger didn't either see it as a foul or thought the feet just simply got caught together. Either way, no foul, and the Timbers coming back the other way with a counter. Blair Gavin.
Important to cut this out early. Keep them the runners in front of you, track them.
And they give it right back away. Belmar's pass was awful, looking for Rundell. Monarchs with possession here, 25th minute. Still 1-0 Timbers. Monarchs have been better the last 5 or 6 minutes here, creating some chances in the final third, or at least some possession in the final third.
Yeah, I'd say they have more possession for that spell for longer periods of time than they had in Portland.
Saucedo. Back now. Celestino. Now Justin Glad getting forward. Boyd on the near sideline. Back to Tavares. Baldine playing it back to Glad, and Glad's going to roll it all the way back.
You love to see the composure. You know, Glad can play a holding midfielder or a center back, and you can see his composure and his knowledge of the game trying to find the space. He's very smart, doesn't give up possession very often.
Here comes Baldine, Lucas Baldine. Center of the park, Saucedo. Trying to roll it out wide. Can he get it there? No, broken up by the Timbers and kicked out of bounds. Monarchs will throw in.
Saucedo's still down on that tackle. Maybe took a boot to the shin.
Second time today we've seen Sebastian go down.
He's getting a card, getting a caution for it. I don't know if it's for dissent.
Well, follow @USL on Twitter to become a league insider. You can join club conversations and have a chance at exclusive
Real
giveaways.
Monarchs,
Again, on Twitter,
50.
@USL to become a league
Salcedo.
insider.
In the 27th
minute. And are we going to get a card here? Just a stern warning on that far sideline for the Timbers defender.
It's a hard tackle, Bill. I don't know if I agree with the center referee here. The defender just gets spun, and he just has a whack at the shin of the Monarch player.
This will be a throw-in on the far sideline here for the Monarchs, deep in Timbers 2 territory. Trailing by a goal, 1-0 here in the 27th minute. Baldine to throw in. Now this is going to be a free kick. He'll place it down, call it about 30 yards out, maybe 32. To the right of the keeper, Gleason. Baldine driving it in on a line drive. Through the back and hit in! It's a goal! Justin Glad finds the back of the net! On a wonderfully placed ball by Lucas Baldine. And it's 1-1 Timbers and the Monarchs here in the 28th minute.
This service is just... And Justin Glad just does so well to find himself inside the 6 on the far post to be able to bury it. Tie the game 1-1.
You could not have asked for better service, and Glad, if he didn't finish that, would have been mocked mercilessly by his teammates because that was placed perfectly at the back post, and the keeper Gleason could do nothing with it. What a wonderful finish by Justin Glad.
He's all alone there. I don't know if he lost his mark or someone just didn't have him marked the entire time, but he does everything right to bury that.
So we're 1-1 now in the 29th minute. Monarchs on the board on the Justin Glad goal. And can they get another here? Velasco cut off. Ball sent back out to midfield. Glad sends it back in again, but again, on the wet turf here tonight, that ball's just not going to check up for Tavares. Goal kick here for the Portland Timbers. 2.
You love to see the reaction from the Monarchs when they go down a goal, but then after that they have long spells of possession, and they were able to find a goal soon after to be able to come right back into the game.
Well, that's what I was saying, Sean. You could see that building and building. The possession was better. They were creating a chance here and there, but the possession in the final third was a whole lot better. Then they get the free kick, and boy, oh boy, the service was spectacular, and so was the finish. Toma to throw in down below here on the Monarchs side of midfield. Toma looking ahead. Well read by Tavares. Taken back by the Monarchs. Kavita in back. Plays it back to his keeper, Lalo Fernandez. Lalo plays it back to Kavita.
They're able to break that pressure with that goalkeeper's help in possession. Get out of trouble, and look at this. They find the other side of the field.
And Velasco taken down in the middle of the park. His shoe comes off as he's tackled and taken down by Pelbridge. And Velasco looking toward the sideline for some help on something here. I'm not quite sure what we're looking at.
Looks like he's motioning maybe to the assistant referee to help the center referee out.
Did the referee not? Surely there was the foul. Was he looking for the only thing I can think is he was looking for a card there and didn't get it. I'm not sure that was card worthy.
I agree with you.
It was a foul, and it was a foul in the middle of the park for everyone to see, but there was no malicious intent there, just a foul. So a free kick here for the Monarchs.
There's a lot of congregating going on, a lot of chatter from the center referee. Maybe just to allow time for Velasco to get his boot back on.
Velasco been very active tonight, as has Salcedo up top. Tavares has been terrific as well with his movement and action, but it's Glad who has the goal on the set piece.
You can already see the movement's been very good in the final third, and the forwards have taken some knocks and taken some fouls. It's because they've been making some great runs to force some good defense.
Ball played back in. Monarchs put it back in play in a 1-1 match. Kavita getting near midfield. Couple of more touches. Looking to distribute. Gets it over to Avale. Good pass ahead into space.
What vision from him to see that little gap.
Salcedo can't get it inside that time. Sent back out by the Timbers 2 side. And a throw in on the far sideline for the Monarchs. 32nd minute, 1-1. And a handball. And are we going to see a card here? It's like one's been played. Yeah, clearly an intentional handball. Yellow card comes out, and they'll book in Rundell. Winchester Rundell.
He scored
in a set piece coming here from about the same place we saw the goal scored moments ago. It's going to go down about 30 yards out, again to the right of the keeper, Gleason.
Look at this far post. Are all the Monarchs players marked up? Are we going to have another free runner like Justin Glad was on the last goal?
Baldine got an assist a moment ago. Ready to play it in here. Right-footed line drive toward the near post and sent out by the Timbers. Couldn't beat the first man that time. Tracked down here on the near sideline and played back into space to Boyd. He'll send it back in, top of the box, sent right back out again by the Timbers. Chested down, Portland settles. Now they'll play near sideline. Long ball ahead into space, read easily and sent back the other way by Ovale, and out of bounds. Last touched by Belmar.
The transition from the Monarchs is excellent. You could see that the space was there to counter for the Portland Timbers too, but all of the Monarchs players started tracking back and covering the vital space to not allow any dangerous through balls.
Throw in up the near sideline, headed back the other way by Toma of Portland. And then the ball kicked out of bounds, touched last by the Monarchs. Toma, space ahead, Belmar. Trying to get it back to Rundell. Now Toma, can he get left-footed service off? He can, but he sends it right off Celestina. And a corner kick coming here on the near sideline for the Timbers.
What commitment from Celestino to get down on that slide tackle to prevent the service. That's one thing head coach Freddie Juarez talked about earlier this week. They have to prevent that service that hurt them in the last match.
Ball goes down here at the near side corner flag. Right-footed service in from Gavin toward the middle of the box and parried away nicely with a big right hand from Lalo Fernandez. Bellbridge resets, ball lofted back in again, high and over the top of Fernandez, and we'll have a goal kick.
It's a good parry from Lalo to get that up and out. You see that his parry went out wide and high of the 18-yard box.
Nike is a proud partner of the USL. Follow at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Again, at Nike Soccer on Twitter for all the latest Nike Soccer information. Bill Riley, Sean Blymiller with you here tonight for the home debut of the Real Monarchs here at Rio Tinto Stadium. 1-1 is where we sit here in the 35th minute. Ball flicked on by Portland. Lalo's going to come way off his line, out of his area, and kick it out of bounds on the far sideline. He read that from the get-go. There was no hesitation on his part, but it was still dangerous play.
Came in an awkward spot, but he had already made his decision, so he went with it and came out and was able to just play that out of play, out of danger.
Timbers loft one high and well off the mark and out of bounds. That was an awful service from the far sideline. Fernandez will have a goal kick here.
You see Lalo take a little bit of time to find a good choice going forward.
Blogger warning Lalo Fernandez to put that ball back in play. Next time will be a card for wasting time and a delay of game. Through the center circle it goes, taken back by Portland again. There's a tug and a foul on the far sideline. Jordan Morrell whistled for that foul, and a free kick coming here for Timbers 2. Quickly put back in play by the green and white. Toma working his way up the near sideline, plays it back, and now a negative ball back across midfield, poorly hit. Actually a poor decision there by Portland to throw in right in front of the Timbers bench.
All of that comes from the organization, the shifting as a defensive unit. You see head coach here on the sideline directing traffic, forcing the Timbers to stay to this side. That's how you're able to win the ball back.
Jay Vidovich is the head coach of Timbers 2. Of course, Freddie Juarez, head coach of the Monarchs. Freddie was in charge of that academy in Arizona for so very long. Top of the box, Monarchs. Salcedo battling for it. Played out wide again, Morel. Looking to play it in. Nowhere to go. Plays it back, Ovale.
Look at Velasco.
Now top of the box. Salcedo will have a go at it. Big save on a dive to his right by the keeper that time, Jake Gleason. And a corner kick coming here for the Monarchs. Good thought by Salcedo. He just kind of picked his head up, saw that far post, and gave a go.
It popped up in a good space, just right on top of the 18-yard box, maybe about 25, 30 yards out, has a good preparation touch and has a go to the far post. Forces goalkeeper Jake Gleason into the save.
Second corner tonight for the Monarchs. Baldin has an assist already. He tees it up at that far side corner flag from the Maverick Mayhem corner. Right-footed in swinger, near side, couldn't beat the first man, headed out and away by the Timbers. Throw in far sideline coming here for the Monarchs. 38th minute, 1-1. Ball thrown ahead. Salcedo getting it turned near the corner flag. Doubled up in that corner now by the Portland defense. And Sebastian loses the ball. Teammates come back to pressure it and keep it in. Salcedo has it back again. Leaves it in the box now. Baldin playing it back. Salcedo. Celestino from distance. A shot just up and over the top. He picked his head up, saw that far corner, and Leonard Celestino gave it a go and didn't miss by much.
You see the proper technique, hits that with the inside of his foot, looking for the ball to dip and curl to that far post. Just hits it just over the top.
Goal kick here for Timbers 2 as we get late in the first half, 39th minute. Always talk about on the broadcast with both Dunseth and Kamler, on nights like tonight where the turf is wet, you always want to test a keeper because you just don't know what his footing is going to be like. You just don't know what that ball is going to do when it skips or drifts or what that wet ball will do. So both Brian Dunseth and Brian Kamler have always told me on a wet night you always want to give it a go if you can and make that keeper make a save in the conditions.
And you know what it does when you test the keeper from distance on occasion? It opens up the space behind.
Look out. Here comes Belmar. Top of the box. Belmar in. Belmar around the defender. Chipping the keeper. It's up and just over the top. What a great individual effort that time by Carlton Belmar. He beat two defenders, chipped the keeper, but just hit it a bit too high. Monarchs got a touch to it, so a corner kick coming.
Belmar was selected in week 3 as on the USL Team of the Week. His goal, first goal, was on the highlight reel. Good athletic player. You saw some of that right there.
Near side corner kick again. Blair Gavin driving it in. Header backside just wide. Oh my goodness. Perched at the back post was a Timbers attacker. And the ball hit his head squarely, but he couldn't get it on frame. Touched last by a Monarch, and it's going to be a corner kick on the far sideline.
It looked like Ovale was on that far post doing his job, sitting on that post to prevent such a shot just like that. He's able to parry it and just defend it wide.
Another corner kick coming here for the Timbers. Gavin will place it down again, this time from the far side. Right-footed out swinger coming toward the top of the 6. Header high but not on frame that time. Good look as he found his fellow defender Clark. And the ball kicked out of bounds here on the near sideline by the Timbers. Pay.
You know, Pay played for the Salt Lake Academy, the U17s and U18s. It's fun to see local kids playing at the professional level today.
You know, for a long, long time, Justin Braun was kind of the lone representative in Major League Soccer. Obviously had a good run with Chivas and then with Montreal and Toronto for a little while. He's now playing for Sacramento. Well, RSL, or I should say Monarch fans and RSL fans will see him later this year. But now there's a lot more with USL representation and even Major League Soccer representation popping up around MLS.
USL has expanded immensely in the last year, especially with these affiliations with MLS teams. Just last year, I believe they had 12 or 14 teams, and they've expanded to 23, 24 teams now.
Foul on the Monarchs, and this is going to give Timbers 2 a free kick. Call it about 27 yards out to the right of Fernandez. Sawfew, who has the goal tonight, will take it, bending it toward the back post and head it out. Tracked down by Velasco, and he'll just clear it with a left foot. Monarchs have had trouble clearing their zone here over the last 4 or 5 minutes. That one clears out across the halfway line. Timbers will throw back in.
Since the goal, the Monarchs goal, Portland Timbers too have had a little bit more possession. You can see them trying to build some more momentum. It's important for the Monarchs, especially with just about 4 minutes left before half, to try to shift that back in their favor, get the ball at their feet, have more possession, especially in the middle of the field in the attacking third.
Ball sent high and long up that far sideline. Murrell giving chase. Timbers attacking player, it looked like it was Rundell, giving chase with him. It goes out of bounds. Throw in here for the Monarchs. 43rd minute, 1-1 here late in the first half. Monarchs president Rob Zarkos will join us coming up at halftime. A few questions for the Prez of the newest USL team, newest sports franchise here in Salt Lake City in the state of Utah. If Rob would like anything here tonight, it would be 3 points. But more than that, he probably would have liked to have Mother Nature on his side. Many more games here, though, Rio Tinto this year. Throw in far sideline for the Monarchs. Looking and finally trying to find Salcedo. Couldn't find him.
I like this 3 midfielders. They've done well in this first half to cover the vital space, not leave a lot of gaps.
Timbers, Toma heads it out of bounds. Freddie off his bench, puts it right back forward. And Boyd's going to throw in at the halfway line. Celestino heading it forward. No real possession right now in the midfield. And a throw in coming here for the Timbers. We've seen the parent club, Real Salt Lake, go through its share of growing pains with its new formation with the 4-3-3, but it looks like it's beginning to take hold. Back-to-back wins, including one in San Jose on the weekend.
You know,
I think with this team, as much as anything else, Sean, it's just getting these guys to play together.
Yeah.
The majority of the Real Salt Lake team, they're adjusting to a new formation and finding new space, but they've, for the most part, all played together. These guys, while they've trained a bunch together, match action has been limited.
Right.
And there's a lot of difference between doing, 3 and 4 and 5-a-sides in practice and actually getting out on the pitch and playing 90 minutes together against another team.
It's all scenario based, right? When you get on the field and there's different plays during the game that you figure out who's going to cover where, who's going to provide pressure, and you get familiar with your teammates. You bring up a good point, Bill, that you're able to figure out how to work with one another. And that takes time to build it.
It's you always hear practice players, game players, practice speed, game speed. And now you're trying to adjust to teammates, new teammates, and doing it at game speed here against other opponents. And remember, there haven't been that many matches here in the early going for this Monarchs side. Here comes Tavares. Coming up the near sideline here, 45th minute. Tavares gets around one defender. There's Pelbridge right there back with him to defend it well. There's Gavin, who couldn't control it, and then he kicks it out of bounds. That was a bad misplay by Blair Gavin.
But you love the transition. The Monarchs lose possession, but they provide immediate pressure to win the ball right back in a dangerous part of the field nonetheless.
Throw in, Boyd finds Tavares. Good pressure on the ball. Kicked out over the end line by the Monarchs, and a goal kick late here. Find out from the fourth official tonight how much we'll have added at the end of this first half. Probably 2 minutes. Okay, PA guy just told us 2 minutes. So that's what we'll have, and a goal kick coming here for the Timbers.
Going back to what you were saying, Bill, a lot of that familiarity with your teammates is figuring out what runs, what things that guys are accustomed to doing when they get the ball, where they like to dart into space. It'll be fun to see how this team develops over this season, because there's more games to play, plenty more games to play.
Gleason sends it across the halfway line. Monarchs send it back the other way. Into our first of 2 added here at the end of the first half. Justin Glab with a touch, and now up ahead it comes. Nicely done by Ovale to keep possession here. Now he fights through the traffic, plays it center circle. Baldine out wide. Murrell with a long run.
It's just so good to be able to break that pressure, and especially in the center of the field.
I'm not sure what your assessment is, but I really like what Baldine and Ovale have done in the middle of that field tonight with a lot of traffic in front of them, getting that ball, keeping possession, and playing it out wide to teammates.
You know, they've both done well to one of them always sitting and being that holding midfielder to fill that gap, more of like what Kyle Beckerman does for the first team. And they've done well in possession when it's tight space too, as we see Timbers going the other way.
Softview with a long ball into space for nobody in particular, so Fernandez comes up with it. Plays it easily, now outlets it near sideline to Justin Glad. Getting late, referee checking his watch in the middle of the pitch as we near halftime. 1-1 is our score. Starting to cool down even more here. It was already chilly to begin things, but now you can see the breath coming out of the players and the referee's mouth. And there you go, whistle in the mouth, telling us 45 minutes of soccer have been played here in the first half. A goal each.
That's the conclusion of the first half with the score Portland Timbers 2-1. And your Rio.
Exciting group, players full of energy, players eager to get better, players wanting to attack, players that want the ball. And that's the culture of the first team, so we're trying to duplicate that with the Monarchs. And so we hope to deliver an attacking team, a team that wants the ball and can control their own destiny by holding on to the ball.
We're going to be playing a Real Salt Lake style of play so that the coaches from Real Salt Lake can see who fits into their system. So they can expect to see a very good Real Salt Lake kind of style, so hopefully they see the best of it.
We're a young team. I mean, it's our first year in the USL. We were expecting, a couple hiccups here and there, but all the players are getting used to each other. The chemistry's gotten a lot better, and we like to keep the ball going forward. We have good combination play. We have great attacking players, and we're a solid defensive team. We make plays, so it's really nice soccer to watch.
Boyd got announced today. What kind of things can this do for him, given an opportunity to play with the U23s?
I think it's a confidence builder. He's been in the national team program since U17s. He's had a very good preseason with us, had a very good game against LA Galaxy 2 with the Monarchs the other day. They got a 0-0 shutout. And I'm sure they're watching, and people are talking and saying he's doing a good job, and he deserves it.
We want to have is something that is very similar to the first team in our academy, and meaning successful players, good brand of soccer, the RSL way, possession oriented, making sure we're creating a lot of opportunities throughout the year, and then something that the Utah and Salt Lake can be proud of. That they're excited when they go to a game, they leave the game saying that was fun and we want to come back.
It's always a great feeling putting on a brand new jersey. I was watching the kit man put on my name today, and it was just brought a chill to my stomach because it's what I've been working for pretty much my whole life, and signing my first professional contract is only going to go up from here. So I'm very excited, and the boys are great, and just looking forward to get started.
It's a dream come true, especially being able to play in front of my hometown and family and friends, club coaches. It's a dream come true being able to play for this organization.
I'm very excited. We've been putting a lot of hard work, so we're looking forward to get the season started. It's going to be a little bit of a work in progress at first. As you can imagine, it's a new team, completely new team, so we're still getting used to each other on and off the field, but I'm sure that those problems won't last very long.
We want to win playing good soccer. So, yeah, of course we want to win. I think anyone that's competitive wants to win, likes to win. But it's not going to be something that gets done right away. It's a process. RSL's used to winning. We're used to competing for things. And that's down to the academy as well. And I keep bringing up the academy because it's the same. Now we're that middle. We're bridging the gap between academy and the first team. And there's nothing less that I expect from our group to do. We want to win. We want to compete for things. Open Cup, get as far as we can. Go undefeated at home. I mean, you put that pressure upon yourself because you're competitive. And the players, I say winning is part of development. You know, you want to develop guys off the field, on the field, but you want a winning mentality, and that's what further develops guys. So yeah, we want to win games, and it would be awesome to be a champion this first year, and that's what we're going to play for.
Hey, Real Salt Lake fans, it's going to be a fun and interesting 2015 season with the addition of Real Monarchs to the Salt Lake City area. Had an opportunity to catch up with Real Salt Lake head coach Jeff Cassar to talk about what that team means to this group and potentially what the relationship looks like going forward.
Meeting with Bill and Garth, had the opportunity to pick who was going to be the head coach. First person that came to my mind was Freddie. This is a man who has been with our academy for several years now. They've been extremely successful. They know the style of soccer that we want to play, the type of player that it takes to succeed at RSL. And obviously we're going to have a lot of young men on our team. I think it bridges the gap between the Monarchs and RSL as far as even player relationships. He's a great tactician. He's a great person. He's been entrenched in the RSL philosophy, so it was natural. It seemed like the right thing to do. So really excited to be working with Freddie. Again, we see the game very similar, and that's going to be important for when we want to move players up to the first team. He needs to know what it's going to take to be successful with RSL, and he knows that. He's worked several pre-seasons with us now. He helped us out last year when it was my first year down in Casa Grande. We'll continue to work on our relationship, and I'm really, really excited about that.
What does the addition to Real Monarchs mean to Real Salt Lake, and how does this relationship between players going back and forth, the opportunity for younger players to get that vital game experience, mean to this group in this locker room?
Every player at the end of the day wants to play in games, right? And sometimes it can become a tricky situation when we don't have as many games to get them. Obviously having the Monarchs right in our backyard is going to be key to that. But I think even more important is going to be the training. You know, we could also get guys second sessions with the Monarchs. We can bring those players up to the first team, have them trained to get in our environment as quickly as possible. And it allows myself and the coaching staff to put on the exact kind of sessions that we want to make the numbers right.
The potential to develop a player from youth through your second division into your first team is something that when we see it coming into fruition, you know, when we see those rewards, when we see those players earn their chance on the first team, not be given it, but earn it now through the process of building through our whole system. And when we see those faces enter into starting lineups and then become consistent starters is when, as a club, as an organization, we become one that has finally achieved something that really the American soccer scene hasn't seen. And we're trying to do it before other clubs. And we're all kind of in an arms race in that sense, but you know, the clubs that get to that first and produce those quality players, those first team quality players first, are the ones that get to, you know, raise that flag and be proud of it.
When you look at a guy like Luis Gil and what his development has meant to Real Salt Lake with Real Monarchs, how does that change and potentially accelerate the process of young player development?
Bringing a young player along and putting him in an environment in the first team in the training sessions is one massive step. The other is getting them game experience and getting them beaten up a little bit, as a lot of the coaches would say. A young player like Luis Gil, having those opportunities to really, in a game, get beat up, have success, it just makes their progression a lot faster.
Not only does it provide a place for young players to go get 30 games, it provides a place for players coming off injury to go get fitness, to go get timing, to go get what they need to come straight back in and contribute to the first team. So you're looking at a development as well as a stepping stone for recovery of first team players, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, if you have a young kid that comes in and all of a sudden you've got a first team player that, yeah, you might be going down for game fitness or any other potential reason, but you might have a kid who's come up and signed a contract, and within 3 months he's playing next to a first team star. The potential impact, not only soccer-wise, but the psychological impact of playing next to that player, the inspirational impact of playing and training with those players, the team will be down the road. If we're odd numbers, Jeff has the right to call those players in to train with us. So it gives us the ability to consistently evaluate players. It gives players the ability to consistently play games in a professional atmosphere. And I think the short-term value is really the amount of games we can get. The long-term value is the development of our own, and really seeing as we watch these players come through our system and into our first team, the progression of what we're doing on our own as a club. It's awesome. It's playing in MLS Stadium. It doesn't get better than this. And there should be a lot of people here for the opener, so it's extremely exciting. We're all pretty pumped about that. So
it just adds a little bit more to the professionalism of the Monarchs and the professionalism as a whole organization to be able to play in a field like this, and then having hopefully what we hope to expect is a pretty decent crowd for a USL crowd. And I think they're going to enjoy it, coming to a facility like this. It just adds to the environment, to the culture, and to the competitiveness.
It's going to be a great experience. For me, more so because it would be my debut with these guys. I've been with them for the last month or so, so I'm looking forward to finally playing with them, suiting up with the Real Monarchs logo on, and what better way to start my USL career than to play in front of these great fans at Rio Tinto.
West Valley, as I've come to know, as their mantra is unity, pride, and progress. This perfectly encapsulates the spirit of what we felt here, that this is a progressive city. It's Utah's second largest city with approximately 140,000 people and a remarkable infrastructure.
This organization here will be a great blessing to our community. It has a ready-made fan base. We look forward to supporting them here and in making this a relationship that will work together for both of us for many years into the future.
Now this team, you're going to see the future stars of Real Salt Lake playing here with the Monarchs. So it's very, very important for our development system and our pyramid. The one thing, if you learned anything about Deloitte, this is going to be the best minor league stadium in the country. I mean, West Valley, you're going to be very proud of this stadium, let me tell you.
Like I told them a story. I said, you know, in ancient days, when people were successful later in their life from their economic activities in Europe, they went and built cathedrals. You know, so you go to Milan, you go to Florence, and the Medicis built a cathedral. So I'm getting old. And I look, I said, well, what do they do nowadays? And they build stadiums. So why not build a stadium?
Has not had much possession, completed passes.
Hard challenge, top of the box. Glad there. Timbers player down near that top of the box. Trying to argue the location of the foul. Timbers want that ball, that foul to be called just inside the area. Glad pointing outside the area.
I don't know if he's even pointed a direction yet.
One sub at the half. Tavares night done. Pekka on, Brazilian midfielder.
He's from Rio de Janeiro. 2009, he played for Flamengo, the red and black, big club out of that major city.
You speak a touch of Portuguese. Do you still speak a touch of Portuguese? I know you spent a couple of years.
I do. I actually have one of my friends staying with me for a week from Brazil. He's with me until Saturday, so it's been fun to brush up on my Portuguese.
Pekka was expected to start here tonight. He was a late scratch as a starter. Remember, he's overcoming what he's been kind of battling as a hip flexor injury, but they'll give him the second 45 here tonight, and we'll see what he can do. Pekka's expected to be a major contributor this year with the senior side with Real Salt Lake. Guy that can kind of play that holding midfield position, kind of back up a Kyle Beckerman if Kyle needs a break or an injury takes hold.
Remember Jordi Alvarez that went off to Orlando FC. Be more of that style of player to fill in, maybe even for U.S. Open Cup games.
Velasco in back to Glad. Glad will play it out wide. Now center of the park, Salcedo. Near side it comes Morel. Jordan Morel. Pekka switching out wide again.
It's good composure, good patience on the ball from the Monarchs.
Pekka would be considered a senior statesman on this side, 25 years old, played quite a bit of professional soccer in Brazil before coming to Fort Lauderdale in the NASL. Good step there by Glad.
Can't tell you enough how big Flamengo is in Brazil. It's one of their biggest touted professional teams. He was part of that program.
Morel now. Baldin. Back again to Pekka. Good bit of possession here from the Monarchs, and then a giveaway. Back across midfield. Belmar gave it right back away. Here come the Monarchs. Baldin has it kicked away toward the corner flag, and that's going to be a throw-in for the Claret and Cobalt.
Again, I cannot stress to those listeners of the pressure. As soon as the Monarchs turn over the ball, they start shifting to this side of the field, the near side, to win the ball back and to limit space for the Timbers to be able to break out.
Goal kick coming now for the Timbers. 50th minute, 1-1 here at Rio Tinto Stadium. All USL regular season and playoff games are available live, free, and in HD on YouTube. Connect with USL YouTube channel today. That's, again, all regular season matches available on YouTube if you're a USL and a Monarchs fan. Ooh, nasty, nasty challenge from behind there by Delbridge.
Velasco took another knock to the back of his head.
I was about to say, that's not the first time Velasco's gone down tonight. And Delbridge went to check on him. Gets a lecture from the referee, and a free kick coming here for the Monarchs.
Velasco doesn't stand very high in stature, but he got up to challenge, and it just looked like an elbow right to the back of the head.
Baldin will stand over it. Monarchs will get some bodies forward here. 51st minute. The intensity of the rain picks up just a little bit here at Rio Tinto Stadium. If you're from Portland, this is just every day. Long ball forward into the box, skipping away, but it wouldn't have mattered anyway. Salcedo in an offside position. Free kick coming here. for Jay Gleason.
You like the run from Salcido and the ball. The ball just, you talked about it earlier, took a skip off that wet grass.
Gleason making sure everybody gets across midfield before he puts it back in play. Drives it high and long, trying to find Belmar. Couldn't find him. Touched by the Monarchs, now sent wide. Belmar going to track it down, does. Winchester now. Center of the park and given right back away to the Monarchs. While Portland has been good at times tonight in counters and attacks, their possession's been just okay.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Bill, and I think a lot of that is the pressure, the immediate pressure. As soon as the ball is turned over, the Monarchs almost squeeze the space, forcing them all into one side, not allowing them to find the other way to kind of break it open.
A tug on Baldine. Coming there from Payne. Monarchs keep possession.
This was probably the instruction they got from head coach Freddie Juarez, to be patient, keep the ball for long spells, make them work, especially with this elevation, the travel that they have to do to get here.
Salcedo. Make it Velasco on it. Ball goes out of bounds. Touched last by Portland. Here on the near sideline, Winchester not happy with it. Morrell will throw in quickly for the Monarchs. Pekka. Pauses at midfield. Now moves forward, plays it wide. Morrell. 53rd minute, 1-1. All the way back, Kavita now. Back to Pekka. Say this, Pekka has been quick and active in this short time he's been on the field here in the second half.
I've seen him on the ball quite a bit.
Coming to win it back again, and does. Keeps it active, in play, and now ahead center circle. Pekka gets it back again. Out wide, Morrell. He'll leave it for Baldine. Lucas. Space ahead. Salcedo, two-man game. Ovale. Boyd in toward the spot, nobody there. It was a good thought, except the run wasn't there to put that ball away at the penalty spot. Portland clears.
You love the build-up play with Ovale and Salcido to spring to that far side, the weak side with a free runner.
Ball played all the way back now to Fernandez. Lalo, outlets. Celestino back to Glad. Boyd wide. Sent back in by the Timbers. Glad turns it back upfield the other way. And out of bounds. Monarchs weren't able to keep it in.
But you see the Monarchs, they're making the field bigger. The center backs are dropping off about 20 yards from the holding midfielders, and the holding midfielders are popping in and out of that space, switching off to create that opportunity to keep the ball.
Portland with a chance to counter here. Pay, wide of the area, marked up, plays it back. Beasler drives it in. Wanted a handball, didn't get it. Pay gets it back again. He's tripped up, no whistle. Monarchs keep it in play and counter back the other way. Everybody wanting handballs, referee not having any of it. Another handball they want. Keep playing, boys. Quit asking for calls. Payne now switches out wide. Did he overcook it? He did. Is back on the far side. Couldn't track back quick enough to get it throw in here for the Monarchs. 56th minute, 1-1. Baldine couldn't control. Timbers again. Gavin. You can see that water beginning to pool just a little bit as the ball skids on the field right now. It's been a steady rain for the last few hours here in Salt Lake City.
One thing you'll notice is, like I've mentioned already, is when the Monarchs give up possession, they're not allowing the Timbers to go to the other side. Timbers too, as we see there, to win the ball right back.
Here's Winchester with it. Pekka takes it back again. Saucedo trying to punch it forward. Velasco down again. Tell you this, Ricardo Velasco has spent a lot of time on the turf tonight. Payne, Winchester, back to Payne, trying to get around Kavita, and that's a foul on Kavita. Free kick coming for Timbers 2 here in the 57th minute.
Kavita's getting a warning for kicking the ball away after the foul was whistled.
Freddie Juarez up off his bench. Not in any rain gear here tonight. Freddie's just got on the windbreaker, so he'll be nice and soaked when this one's all said and done. Free kick here for Blair Gavin. 35 yards out. 1-1, 57th minute. Gavin, line drive toward the spot, headed high, not on frame. Tracked down on the backside. Punched back in, and then over the end line it goes. It's a goal kick here for the Monarchs.
Good defensive shape when the ball landed on that far side. And the Timbers players trying to go 1v1 doesn't have space to work with.
Lala Fernandez, low line drive, back in play, gives it right back to Portland again. There's a whistle and a foul. On the Monarchs, put back in play quickly by Beasler. Brother of Matt, who RSL will see this weekend when they play Sporting Kansas City.
Well done to just snuff that all out, force them all into that corner, win the ball right back for Monarchs to go the other way.
Younger brother Nick Beasler, also a fighting Irishman from Notre Dame. Very accomplished Big East soccer player. Will now have to live in the enormous shadow of his brother. This could not be an easy thing to do, but I'm sure he's been doing it his entire life. Fernandez lets it trickle over the end line. A goal kick coming here.
I want to know what those parents are doing for those boys to become professional athletes. What are they feeding them?
I don't know. They're not big kids by any means. What they're doing is putting them on the soccer field is what they're doing all day and all night in Blue Valley. I grew up literally 5 minutes away from where the Beaslers lived in suburban Kansas City. It's really a soccer hotbed. And they have built a complex of soccer fields in that part of Kansas City that is second to none for youth soccer. Whistle and a foul against Portland. Monarchs will put it back in play here in the center circle.
Quick restart to get the ball back in play.
Well, have you visited the new USLsoccer.com? Get the latest news, live stats, and check out all the new social media buzz and hub at USLsoccer.com. Bill Riley, Sean Bly-Miller. We've played an hour of soccer here at Rio Tinto Stadium and a 1-1 draw so far. Monarchs and Portland Timbers 2. Third corner kick of the night coming here for the Monarchs.
You saw that ability of 1v1 out wide to win the corner kick. Can the Monarchs capitalize?
Baldine has provided good service on set pieces tonight, if not on corners. From the far side. Right-footed, line drive, out swinger, top of the six. Knotted away by Portland. Comes right back out again, Ovale over and top. Not a bad attempt, though. 30 yards out on a wet night. Kind of skied on him. Justin Glad down now in the middle of the 18.
Ovale, the ball lands on his left foot. You could see he preferred his right. So he switched it back to his right foot with a shot for distance. Just that amount of time he took, the defenders closing down the space, making that shot more difficult.
Glad's up. Glad's okay. Got to say, all these guys are going to spend an hour in the shower after this game. A hot shower will be the recipe post-game for both these sides. It is cold and it is raining hard now here at Rio Tinto Stadium. 61st minute. Gleason will put it back in play for Timbers 2. He'll probe the left side of the field. Sent the other way by Pekka. Settled far sideline by Toma. He lofts it forward. Kavita knocks it down. Sent back across midfield by the Monarchs. And the flag up on Salcedo. This is that time of the night where you play that ball, and as wet as things are right now, somebody goes to make a play, slips, and that's where you might be able to get a quick counter. Speaking of quick counters, here come the Timbers. Inside the box, Belmar turning at the spot. Couldn't get a turn on it. Cleared out nicely by Jordan Morrell.
Monarchs playing a man down as Justin Glad still is getting attention on the sideline.
Now he's waved back out on the field. 11v11 again as the fourth official waves him back out. Throw in here on the near sideline. Morrell waving everybody forward. Now he wants somebody to come back to the ball. Ball out of bounds, touch last by Timbers 2.
Sometimes having a throw in on your sideline, it's hard to break out of that space. Here's Salcedo checking back to the ball.
Beasler plays it back, and across it comes to Delbridge. Harrison Delbridge. Now Clark. Up ahead to Pay. Got away from him, and out of bounds it goes. A throw in coming here for the Monarchs.
Wet surface playing into effect there. Taylor Pay, the ball just goes underneath his foot.
Monarchs not wasting any time getting that ball back in. Kavita, left-footed ball forward, trying to find Velasco. Went off of Velasco out of bounds. Pay puts it back in play. Now again, just too much. Portland, if we've seen them do that once tonight, we've seen them do it 6 or 7 times. They just have a guy open and just overhit it just a little bit.
Which is surprising. They play on turf and the ball seems to carry. So maybe it's deceiving. They're thinking that the ball will go a bit slower, hang up in the grass.
All the way back and kicked high and cleared by Fernandez into the center circle. Delbridge sends it backwards. Boyd at halfway plays it back into some space for Justin Glad.
I'd like to see the Monarchs keep the ball for a little bit longer.
Long run coming forward now, Winchester. Into the box it goes, looking for Belmar, and he was defended well from behind by Kavita. And it goes out of bounds, touch last by the Timbers.
He might have thought he was closer in the middle of the field because he was out wide of the 6-yard box and turned and had a go and was nowhere near the goal.
Fernandez waving everybody back forward a little bit as he puts it back in play on the goal kick. 65th minute. Knotted down by Clark, right to Pekka. Pekka going to play that ball out wide, but way too far and way too fast for Boyd that time. Throw in far sideline. Portland puts it back in and drives it back on the Monarchs side of midfield. Glad back with Belmar. And Justin does a good job clearing out near midfield. Here's Beasler with it for Portland. Now Payne. Payne's got a man in front. Now out wide it comes to Pay. Pay marked in front by Morrell. Up ahead Winchester. And Fernandez off his line comes up to scoop it up. Nobody making a run that time for Portland.
I'm surprised by Justin Glad's physical ability, Bill. He's so quick. Doesn't look like a player that would be fast, but he covers a lot of space very quickly.
Ovale. And the flag up again on that far sideline. Pay. And out of bounds touch last by the Monarchs. Become a fan of USL on Facebook for exclusive league news and interactive content. Follow the USL on Facebook. A couple of subs coming in here. In the 66th minute, Shilo Tushoma. He'll check in, and it looks like Matt Rose will also check in here. Chuma is how you pronounce that name. Chuma and Rose. Rose the easier of the two. Chuma in.
Safu and Winchester are the ones to leave.
Baldine. Good step in the back that time by Payne. Now Pay. Up ahead. Chuma. On the near sideline. Great turn. Excellent turn, Velasco. And he's grabbed and fouled, and they'll play on. That's the advantage. Baldine. And a good step and a breakup. Velasco's losing his mind, but the official clearly was playing advantage there, and everybody slowed down. And there was advantage to be played for the Monarchs. They had players forward.
Yeah,
I think that was the right decision by the referee.
He had such a neat turn to beat his defender, and the ball fell to Celestino's feet right after he lost possession. That's where the advantage played on.
It's true in whatever sport you play to the whistle. Whether you're talking about soccer, whether you're talking about football, basketball, whatever it happens to be, you play to the whistle. Ball out of bounds, far sideline. Portland to play in.
Looks like Renico Clark gets the yellow card, gets the caution for the foul.
Good step by Kavita to clear it out. 68th minute. As the clock ticks on and the rain falls here at Rio Tinto Stadium, 1-1. Monarchs with a counterattack now. Morel getting forward. Here's Saucedo looking for Velasco, and he's cleaned out. And there's another yellow card. And is that on Clark? It is. He got a yellow 30 seconds ago on the delayed foul, and he gets a second yellow right there. And for the final 20 and change, Timbers 2 is going to be a man down. They'll play with 10.
I like the decision from the center referee that he allowed the advantage to go on, and then after the play didn't fully develop and the Timbers went the other way and there was a stoppage, he went back to Clark and gave him his first caution. And like you said, Bill, just 30 seconds later, he goes in hard on a slide tackle and commits a second foul.
We'll have a substitution coming here momentarily for the Monarchs, but first the set piece after the red card. Baldine will stand over it. But a good night tonight for Baldine. He'll drive it in, looking at the back post, and really overhit that ball. And then the keeper, Gleason, juggled it a little bit and fell on it with Morel in the area.
Almost a gift from Morel to just tap in, but Gleason does well to just corral that in.
Good pressure again by the Monarchs, forcing Portland to try to play out of the back here. It's touched last by Velasco, and here comes our substitution. Riley McGovern. Another Lobo of New Mexico checking in here. Lucas Baldine will take off the captain's armband, put it on Velasco's arm, and Riley McGovern will check in here in the 70th minute. Here's Velasco. Couple of step overs for Velasco. Plays it back, ball kicked out of bounds by Portland. Throw in coming here for the Monarchs.
Velasco coming to life in the second half. We've seen his quickness on the ball.
Morel takes it back here on the near sideline. Good night for Baldine. A solid 70 minutes for Lucas Baldine tonight. Center circle. Justin Glad playing it out wide now. Looking ahead, McGovern gets his first touch. Ovale back now. Celestino. Kavita. Center circle again, Celestino. 71st minute, 1-1.
The shape's been great. Look at the big circle and the horseshoe shape from the outside backs to get forward. Open up that space for the center midfielders to get the ball in those pockets.
Out wide. Now center of the park. Ovale. Big switch near sideline. Velasco had no idea that Morrell was behind him. Tried to play that and touched it out of bounds with his head.
Morrell could maybe give a shout to Velasco to tell him to leave it because it's coming right at him.
See, but that goes again back to what we were talking about earlier. It's just communication. It's just learning to play and learning to know where your teammates are. It's been such a quick early season for these guys, and that's something that will grow as they play in time. Ball nodded out of bounds by the Monarchs right in front of their own bench. Portland to throw in. 1-1, 72nd minute. Gavin tried a clearance, couldn't get it, spun backwards on him. Pekka heads it backwards. Celestino will touch it back to Glad. Justin Glad. He's got tonight's lone goal for the Monarchs. Now the ball comes up across the halfway line to Morrell. Here comes Velasco. Velasco with a couple of step overs, and heel flick back, tripped up and taken down.
Takes his player on with a closed V or a nice shimmy to get in behind his standing leg to beat his defender, and defender just fouls him.
Shiloh Chuma took him down. This will be a set piece opportunity just outside the area. Ball goes down about 23, 24 yards out. Velasco will take it. Two-man wall in front. Velasco bending it toward the top of the 6. Knotted away by the Timbers. But over the end line for a corner kick. Corner kick number 4 coming here for the Monarchs.
The teasing ball just out towards the 6-yard box, so it makes it difficult for Gleason to come off of his line almost in a no man's land. So it was a great ball and takes a deflection to go for a corner.
Opposite side corner kick now for the Monarchs. In a 1-1 match as we approach the 74th. Velasco again. Plays it in again. Top of the 6. Celestino got a touch. McGovern headed it high, but into the waiting hands of Gleason, the keeper. Got a touch, but he couldn't knot it down and get anything on it. And Gleason had an easy save.
It's a hard header to get to the back post. The ball is almost a little bit behind McGovern to get any power and torque with his head snapping his neck backwards.
Center circle, knotted down. There's Velasco again. McGovern making a good run. Velasco having a go, and that was ambitious at best from Velasco. He was 30 yards out, not much chance. And McGovern was actually making a nice run on the far side.
Yeah, McGovern was streaking, and if he had timed, I think if Velasco had timed the pass right, he could have set McGovern in alone on goal. Instead, he elected to have a shot from distance.
Goal kick Gleason here. Quarter hour of soccer remains at Rio Tinto Stadium. 75th minute, 1-1. Follow at USL on Twitter. If you do, you'll become a league insider. Join club conversations and have a chance at exclusive getaways. That's at USL on Twitter. Here's Pekka, who's been very active since coming on as a halftime sub for Freddie Juarez. Ball over the top, Belmar. Belmar in. Belmar a shot. Fernandez decided not to come out, and Belmar couldn't make him pay. It's a goal kick for the Monarchs.
Lalo does well to stay on the near post. In the opening minutes of the first half, we saw the goal where it went near post, and Lalo started cheating to that far post. This time, he stays on his near post and forces Belmar to have a tougher shot.
Couple of touches, now a roll forward to Velasco. He'll run into the attack. Velasco trying to poke it through to Pekka. Good step by the Portland defense. Up the near sideline it comes. Kavita giving chase. Belmar back with him, and now Belmar gives up. Altitude may be taking its effect now on some of these Timbers players that have played 76, 77 minutes.
It's not easy to do, to come to this elevation, and especially late games like this, to perform at the highest level. I think he didn't have much support in his defense either. He was the highest Timbers player.
High and wide, sailing out of bounds on the far sideline, touched last by the Monarchs. Now they'll bring players forward to pressure and try and keep the ball on the Portland side of midfield.
And the organization, especially from the central midfielders and outside midfielders, has been great in doing that, because they're the really key players in that pressure.
Ball settled out front, left for Ovale. He'll switch it out near side, Jordan Morrell. Pressure coming, Jordan sits and waits, looks to distribute, does. Pekka tracks it down. Pekka plays it out wide now. Chested down there. Top of the box. And skinned away by the Portland defense and cleared out across midfield. Going to be a throw in for the Monarchs right near the Timbers bench.
Belmar was all alone again. They tried to spray him out wide to spring him forward, but the ball was way out in front of him. Not really a chance to get on the end of it.
Monarchs with a late attack here, 78th minute. And they couldn't keep the ball in bounds on that far sideline. Throw in again for the Timbers.
Could be a little bit of fatigue on both sides of the ball. Both teams late in the game here. We're just in the third game of the season. This is where fitness is truly tested.
Be interesting to see if Freddie Juarez goes back to the bench maybe one more time and looks at maybe a forward like Coco Navarro to come in late here. Maybe give some fresh legs and a chance to push and attack. Kavita in back. Pauses just before the halfway line. Gives it up Ovale. Big switch out wide. Looking for McGovern. Finds McGovern. Riley McGovern tiptoeing that sideline on the far side. Trying to get around a defender and does, and then he gets taken down, and oh goodness. A lot of contact, no whistle.
Center referee pointed to assistant referee almost to signal like it was his play to call, because he had the advantage.
Yeah, he was 30 yards away was the referee, and I really thought, and again, we're even further away, but maybe it was a slip on the wet turf, but it looked to me like there was a lot of contact out there.
I agree with you.
So instead, we'll get a goal kick here for Jake Gleason. Up high, up long, up the far sideline. Flicked on by the Timbers. Sent back the other way by Kavita. Stop and go by McGovern. Pokes it forward into some space. Saucedo will try to get there, won't be able to, and Gleason clears.
McGovern had a couple of good touches to keep possession. Little stop and go, like you mentioned, inside of the foot, outside of the foot, little change of pace. Tries to slip it through, but too heavy for his teammate.
Jordan Morrell just across midfield. Plays it back to the youngster Ovale. He makes a big switch out wide to McGovern. A lot of room out there for Riley McGovern. Going to leave it for Boyd. He'll touch it once, loop it toward the back post. Nobody there, but it comes through to Morrell. Monarchs will re-tee. Back out it comes Ovale. Into the box it comes. 3 defenders there. He beat one, but he couldn't beat the second. Cleared out by Payne.
The last 10 minutes, you've seen the width really being shown by the Monarchs. Those outside backs and outside attacking midfielders, you can see from one side of the field to the other, they're giving as much width as they possibly can to stretch this game.
81st minute, 1-1 here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Home debut of the Real Monarchs. They'll be back here on Saturday. And the weather expected to be a little bit better on Saturday.
Growing up, you hear from your coaches, get your boots on the line or get your cleats on the white line to give that width, and we've seen more of that.
Ball comes into Pekka. Now played back. Celestino to Ovale. Pressure coming from Portland. Looking to distribute, does to Morrell. Juarez wants everybody to come forward now. Hook back inside. Pekka with a touch. Leaves it for Ovale. He'll play it back, Celestino. 35 yards out wide. Boyd with a touch. The Tar Heel looking into the box. Sent back out again by Portland.
You see them going side to side, trying to pull that back line, stretch them out to create the gaps.
Chipping in, looking for Saucedo, not there. Sebastian goes down. And Pay clears out near the center circle. Celestino says, I'll play it back to Glad. 82nd minute, 1-1.
Good turn from McGovern.
Here's McGovern just wide of the area. Plays it toward the middle. And a good step by Delbridge. Back to McGovern it comes. Back out to Pekka. Brings it across Ovale. Gets a touch. Leaves it for Morrell. Jordan inside the 18. Goes with a left. And fires it high. Goal kick for Portland.
You can see his hands go to his head right after he struck the ball. You can imagine he's probably trying to put that across the face of the goal where his onrunning teammates are getting on it, and it just rolled out on the outside of his foot to go high.
Gleason to put it back in play. Neither keeper has been tested much here in the second half. Celestino heads it back in again. Turning it back upfield. Timbers 2. That's Pay. Kicked out of bounds there by Celestino. Late whistle, goodness. I think the Portland bench won that one. Handball whistled on Jordan Morrell.
Yeah, they definitely appealed for it. Referee awarded the free kick just along the sideline.
84th minute. 1-1 still. Blair Gavin to take the free kick. Gavin plays it in, top of the 18. Glad read it and played it back out again. Timbers keep possession.
Good double to win the ball back.
Monarchs with possession. Big switch to the near side. Saucedo trying to come back to it. Good reading back that time by Toma to come back and take it. Belmar now. And a whistle and a little tug on the Monarchs.
Kavita stepped forward to try to prevent the turn from Belmar. Gets whistled for the foul for a shove in the back.
Gavin will put it down. Free kick it again, 40 yards out. Nobody really in the box right now. Everybody kind of spread out for the Timbers. He'll play it way out wide. That was a poor decision.
I think they're settling for the tie. Down a man, traveling to a tough place to play.
Take that road point if you can get it, I suppose. One more sub. They're hoping to get in here momentarily. Here's Saucedo for the Monarchs. Out wide to McGovern. McGovern with a right-footed ball toward the spot. Delbridge sends it out again. Now Glad settles it, plays it center circle for Kavita. Everybody across midfield except the keeper now for the Monarchs. Ovale. Up ahead, good step again by Toma. Back to Ovale. Out wide, Velasco. Corner of the 18. Right-footed drive, just high. He had the right idea there. Gleason reached out and stretched out, and it missed by about 6 inches.
Did a little snake right at the top of the 18-yard box where he takes a touch with the inside of his foot and almost like a rubber band approach to take it to the outside of his foot to prep himself for a shot from distance.
What may be our final sub of the night here in the 86th minute. Steve Evans checking in here for the Timbers. And Carlton Belmar check out. Belmar's got to be tired. He did a lot of running up top tonight for Timbers too, and began to see him slow down just a little bit here in the second half. Good job by Saucedo to keep that in bounds. Then kicked out again by Toma. One's our score in the 87th minute. Now we'll have a couple of more substitutes coming on. I mentioned Coco Navarro a couple of minutes ago. He'll check in, as will Leon Brown. Sebastian Saucedo's night is done, as is Velasco's.
Coco Navarro scoring the first goal for the Monarchs at Merlo Field in Portland.
Well, here's the thinking for Freddie Juarez. He knows he's got a game coming up here in a couple of more days. These guys have put in a good effort on a cold, rainy night. Get them off the field, let them rest their legs just a little bit. Out near midfield, Justin Glad settles and plays it back up ahead. Celestino. Pekka's got it now.
Morel's on the far post, wide
all
open.
By himself. Here comes Jordan Morel. He won't get there because Payne heads it high, but not out. Finally punched by Gleason. Settled by Celestino. He'll give it a go and shoot it just high. And Gleason, on back-to-back attempts, has really extended himself here. Goodness gracious. On a cold night, Jake Gleason has been tested, and he'll be sore when this one's done.
McGovern serves a ball in the box, and Gleason has to come off his line and punch it away. And while he's still retreating, the ball falls to Celestino from distance. Just goes over the top.
High and long as we're approaching the 89th minute. Monarchs 1, and here comes Leon Brown. Brown wide of the 18, cuts it back to his right foot, corner of the 18, top of the box. Brown gets it back, little skip shot. Oh, not enough on it. And Gleason smothers in front of his net.
Fans counting here whenever the goalkeeper has the ball to try to encourage him to put the ball back into play quickly.
Gleason sends it out. Gavin plays it forward. Evans gets a turn. And a good step by Kavita, but Evans stays with it. And there's Morel, but they can't clear it. Danger time here if they can't clear this ball. Finally, Pekka does. Playing it back, and Boyd kicks it up near midfield. And there's a trip and a takedown, and they'll continue to play on. Kavita now. Out wide near side, Morel. Long run coming. Can Coco get there? Nope, Navarro won't. Gleason way out. Comes to the top of the 18 to scoop it up.
Evans for the Timbers has been very active the last 5 minutes. He came on almost as a super sub against the Sacramento Republic and scored the game winner in the 78th minute. Was named to the USL Team of the Week for that.
90th minute here at Rio Tinto Stadium. Monarchs still searching, still pushing, trying to grab that home win on their home debut. They'll have a couple of minutes left to do so. High lofting ball far side, McGovern. Ball hits and doesn't quite check up for Riley there. And they're going to say corner kick. Touched out of bounds last by Portland, so a corner kick coming.
It's almost as McGovern, if he saw the ball coming and it misread the flight of it, because it looked like it was going to land on his foot, and then the last second it skipped up.
Pekka steps to it, far side. Big bodies forward for the Monarchs. Late in the match. Lofted high, back post, punched out by Gleason. Oh, Morel was there. And somehow, some way, we're going to have 4 minutes of added time here. Okay, free soccer. Here we go. Ovale getting it forward. Pirouettes back, plays it back center circle for Glad. Lots of time still remains. Everybody across midfield here for the Monarchs. Out front, Celestino Maneuvering. Playing it back out wide again for Boyd. In it comes, shot. Oh, big save, Gleason! What a save by Jake Gleason. It was bound for the back of the net. And he just spilled it wide with his hand. Corner kick coming for the Monarchs.
Looked like Pekka got a touch.
That's exactly who it was. Pekka got a touch to it. But Gleason read it and got a hand on it. Oh, goodness. Pekka will put it down here on the near side corner. Crowd coming to its feet. Pekka plays it in. Oh, goodness. That might have been a mishit because it came all the way out to the top of the 18, and that's where Pei was able to clear it out of the box. Good effort by the Monarchs to stay with it, though. Driven in, sent right back out again. Ovale. Big switch out wide looking for Pekka, couldn't find him. Out wide again, Monarchs. Top of the 18, Ovale. Top of the box, McGovern trying to get a turn. Gavin there to defend it. And Blair Gavin kicks it out of bounds on the far sideline into our second of 4 added here tonight.
The Monarchs probing, they're checking into spaces right around the 18-yard box. They're just trying to look for that final pass.
Celestino, left-footed drive, not close. 20 rows up behind the goal and a goal kick coming. The thought was correct, the execution was not. As we enter now our third minute of 4 added here tonight. And Jake Gleason will take his time. And yeah, I would tell you Timbers too will be very happy to get out of here on a wet, cold night with a point if they can.
They're on a 4-game travel span where they're gonna, this is their first trip and they've got 3 others, so to take a point away from here is good in their favor.
Toma to throw it in down below. Looking up the near sideline. Evans, dangerous again, spins away from Morrell. Steve Evans crosses one with the right foot, but he overhit it. Trying to find his man, Chuma in the box. Out of bounds it goes, throw in far side by the Monarchs. They're gonna push. Maybe one more run left in him here as the referee checks his watch. Pekka out wide, McGovern, here they come, 3v3 McGovern. Trying to cut it back inside, and a great step by Delbridge. Oh, the Timbers defender did a terrific job stepping up and kicking it away from McGovern. And a goal kick here as that ball's cleared all the way back to the other end by Fernandez. He'll put it back in play. Lalo gets it into Justin Glad. Into the dying seconds of this match here tonight. Up ahead, Morrell. Ovale into space. Navarro, can he get there? He cannot. And that might do it here tonight. Coco Navarro just had that ball skid away from him on the wet turf. And a goal kick here for Gleason, and that's that. Tyler Plugger blows his whistle and tells us that 90 minutes of soccer's been played here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium. The home debut of the Real Monarchs ends in a 1-1 draw here tonight at Rio Tinto Stadium.
grab autographs from the team. Justin Glad. Now let's take a look at tonight's amazing play of the game from Lalo Fernandez. Enjoy double the fun this week as your Real Monarchs face fellow. Visit RealMonarchs.com or call 801-727-2700. Operators are standing by. For the safety of pedestrians departing Rio Tinto Stadium, we ask that you please cross State Street at the Stadium Road at 9270 South. Jaywalking is prohibited and frowned upon across State Street.